Hey everybody, it's Coach Jamie here with Team Positively Healthy. Happy Thursday. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and share something with you that I've been thinking a lot about and something that I commonly expressed and encourage my challengers in our challenge groups to do. So a lot of times people will ask me when they just first start a health and fitness program, either with Beachbody On Demand or a different program, or they're just kind of just want to start fresh and start something new, they'll ask me where to begin. So of course, with anything, you want to begin by setting goals. You want to set SMART goals, and you want to really understand why you're doing what you're doing. And so when you go to set your goals, a lot of times you're going to have, some people will have a goal to be a certain weight according to the scale, and most times people will also have non-scale goals. So what we will call non-scale victories that they'll work towards. And so a non-scale goal can be that you want to physically be smaller, you want to be stronger, you want to feel better, you want more energy, you want your complexion to be clearer, you want your hair to be shinier, you want your nails to be stronger, you want to be able to run around with your friends, and you want to be able to run around with your children. You want to be able to get on the ground and do things that you couldn't do before. Those are examples of some non-scale goals and what we'll call non-scale victories, or NSVs. And so to me, I always tell my challengers that those are the most important victories that you could possibly have. The most important thing that you can possibly do for yourself is achieve one of your non-scale goals, because the scale can lie to you. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And so if non-scale victories are so important, and if non-scale goals are so important, then why do we focus on those scale goals? I think it's because that's what we're taught. I mean, the world tells us that we should be a certain size and a certain weight according to the scale. And now I'm not saying that that's completely wrong. I think it's a great metric. And as an accountant or auditor, I love numbers. I like being able to measure things. I like quantitative data. So the scale, I like to see that, but I also recognize that the scale does not tell the full picture always. Sometimes it lies. So for example, if I've had this happen numerous times. So some people will do everything they're supposed to be doing. They'll eat right, they'll work out, they'll be motivated and determined and do everything they're supposed to be doing. And if they just look at the scale during a 30-day period, maybe they gained 1 pound. But really what happened is they actually lost 2 pounds of fat, but they gained 3 pounds of muscle, and they've lost 5 inches. So if you're just going to look at the scale in that scenario, you're going to think that you failed. You're going to think that you did, why is this program not working? Why am I eating clean? Why am I working out? And nothing's happening. But in reality, you are smaller. You are physically smaller because you gained 3 pounds of muscle and lost 2 pounds of fat. Muscle is a lot smaller than fat. So if 1 pound of fat is this big, 1 pound of muscle will be like this big, okay? So I'm telling you, muscle is where it's at. You want to build that muscle, you want to lose the fat, but you can't go again by the scale when you do that. So in that example that I just shared, you will physically be smaller, you will feel better, you will have more energy, you will be excited, your skin will be clearer, your hair will be shinier, you'll have so many non-scale victories, and your measurements will show you that you are physically smaller. And that's so exciting. And so in order for you to realize those things, you can't just depend on the scale. So I'm begging you guys, okay, I beg my challengers to take their measurements from day one. Take your measurements and store them in your free Beachbody On Demand account. Store them somewhere where you won't lose them, because it's so easy to just write them down on a tablet and then lose it within 2 years. I'm so thankful. Like I said, I like my numeric data, I like my quantitative data. I'm so thankful that I wrote down my measurements like 3-4 years ago, because I can see on a chart, right? So what I use is something that actually shows me a chart, and this is what it looks like. I started here, and then I gained this weight, and then I gained weight, and then I came down, and came down, came down, came down. And you could totally see the difference of my measurements that have fluctuated over the years. And I'm so thankful that I wrote it down and I have that, because now I can look back at that. Another great thing to do is to take pictures, so you can physically see what you looked like before and after. And pictures, you can tell a lot with using pictures. One of my favorite things to do is to try on different clothes. So we have one challenger that just reported in that literally she wore a dress 10 years ago and was actually 15 pounds heavier than she is now. And she tried on that dress and it fit perfectly. So she's actually 15 pounds heavier now, but wore the same dress that she wore 10 years ago. How amazing is that? That means that she is physically the same size, regardless of what the scale says, and she has said that she has more energy, she feels better, and she is just happier and healthier than she's ever been before. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys, that trust the process, believe in yourself, and trust those non-scale victories. Trust the non-scale goals that you set for yourself and hold yourself accountable. And so those non-scale goals, sometimes they're not numeric or they're not quantitative goals. So sometimes it's harder to judge that. And so the measurement aspect of that is why it's so important to write them down, because those are numeric metrics that you can take. It doesn't matter how you're feeling that day. It doesn't matter if you're wearing sneakers. It doesn't matter if you had a glass of water already. Those measurements, you can take them at any time and you can compare them with where you were at before. Now, some other non-scale goals include like how you feel, your confidence level, your energy level, and things like that. So I encourage you to maybe once a month, write them down in a notebook. It could take you 5 minutes or less. Just scribble it down, write it down how you feel, and then in another month, write down how you feel after you've completed a program or after you just want to check in with yourself. And doing that month to month, even if you only spend 5 minutes, right? Because I don't really like to journal, but I think it's important to write these things down so I can compare how I felt last month, how I felt a year ago, and so on and so forth. And you'll be able to see the improvement and the non-scale victories that you've achieved. And it's so important because you want to celebrate all your hard work and success. But if you don't write it down and if you don't measure it, you won't be able to realize what a big difference that you have created and the big difference that you have achieved in your life. So my advice, if there's anything that I can give you guys, any kind of advice that I can give you, is please take your measurements and write down your non-scale goals, because you will be impressed and you will be motivated and inspired more than ever when you look at how far you've come looking at those non-scale goals. So that's what I want to share with you guys. We are in day 4 of Sean Week and I'm super excited to finish the next few days. So I hope you guys have a great night, and if you want to join us for the last part of Sean Week, just let me know. You can do a free trial on Beachbody On Demand, and I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Have a great night. Take your measurements and be positive and love life. And I love you guys. And I just want to hug you guys all. And I'm going to leave now. Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.